Hello guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Michael from June Montage, and today's episode I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this amazing piece in Photoshop. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Yeah, welcome to the magical world of Photoshop. Alright, so I'll just create a new document, 5x5, 300 resolution. Everything else stays the same. So this is my working space. This is what I'm going to be working with. So I'll simply just show you guys what I'll be working with, the materials. So this is what I'm going to be working with. So I'll just quickly drag the image into Photoshop. Okay, then I select subject. Okay, so I'll simply go to select the mask, just put in a little feather, and new layer, output new layer with layer mask, just basic selection. So I can see my layer, so I'll go to Windows, layers, and bring on my layers. So this is my layer panel, so I'm going to shift it here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, so we've hidden this. So this is our model we're going to be working with. So I'll just simply right click, apply layer mask, then drag it to the angle that I think is befitting. Okay, I think that's good enough. Just leave it to the side. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a background behind her. Let's put in some leaves. I think leaves is going to be better. Dragging leaves behind her. So just trying to make the leaves bigger. Dragging. So we still have some spaces behind her. What do? We duplicate the layer that contains the leaf by pressing Ctrl J, or simply dragging it to the new layer icon here. So Ctrl T, transform tool, so actually fill in those spaces there. I can do the same for the one behind. So basically I'm trying to use the leaf to create a background for the model. Alright, so that is that. Simply duplicate it again, Ctrl J, then bring it to the front. Alright, now I just want to find somewhere around here, Ctrl T, transform to arrange the shape in terms of position, somewhere here. Okay, not bad, not bad. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in the flowers. Okay, the flowers. Background already. So what I'm going to simply do here is just select subject, okay, so we go to select again, select a mask, and I think the edges here, if you zoom in, you can see the edges are really sharp. So bring the feather, I'm taking like 1.8 and reducing this to like -7 and 1.8. The output is new layer with layer mask. And you click OK. Our work is done there. So next thing we're going to do, we're trying to place this flower around her mouth area, somewhere here. So just drag this up. Okay, something like that. That's good enough. Okay, so Before we put in the spider, let's see if we can actually play with our eyes. Let's change the pupil of this eye. Alright. Alright, so we want to change the pupil of this eye. So simply go to materials. I think we have a pupil there. So you drag it in and drop. Alright, so but the edges are a little bit too sharp and defined. So we simply go to select subject. I don't think it's supposed to take much time. So you go to select the max. That's what I love to do. Feathers, take it like 2.5, and layer with layer mask and bring in the edge a little bit in. Bring out the feather again to like 3 or 3.1. Let's bring it out. It's like 3.6. 3.6 is good. And it's still kind of still sharp though, so we can still double click on the layer mask. It takes us back to the select and mask option. So drag it up all the way to like 6. Let's make it 7. It's pretty good. Same selection, same digits. I think it's way better. Let's drag this down. I'm trying to fit it is somewhere here. Alright, so I'm going to reduce the opacity so I can actually get the right position to fix this pupil. So this is how it's supposed to look like, somewhere around here. I'm using the already existing pupil as like a yardstick to my positioning. Alright, so I think this is pretty good. This is layer mask. I put the highlight on the layer mask, not on the thumbnail. And I go to the eraser tool and I paint gently. Now I'm taking off every other thing that's above the eyelids there. Alright, so I think it's pretty nice. Then here too, every other thing is there. Okay. So let's see before and after, So let's just arrange our stuff and delete this. Stuff we're not using again. Anything we're not using, we delete it. So group this background. Putting down Control, click on this, and I'm pressing Ctrl G to group that. What else? Yeah. So I think everything is pretty nice. We're ready for the spider. So I'm gonna bring in the spider, and before then let's just group our flowers. This is the foreground. Now there's something I want to explain here. Alright, so when it comes to photo and digital composition, photo manipulation too, there are 3 aspects of things, elements we should actually pay attention to. The first is the foreground. The foregrounds are like these flowers, which I might eventually blow out. The main subject is the face and the effect or whatever you want people to see. Then there's what we call the background too, what we created. Alright, so we have the background, the subject, and also the foreground. Alright, now these elements are arranged in this way such that it gives your composition depth. Alright, so in such a way that it's actually more interesting. It gives it a whole lot of depth. Alright, so without wasting too much time, let's kick start. So just bringing our spider here, right here. Alright, and here she is, or here it is, whatever. So I'm just going to position and up. Well, okay, I think this is good for me. Pretty good. Alright, so okay, so I'm going to change the blending mode. I'm going to change the blending mode to soft light. Okay, I'm going to zoom in this is it. So I'm going to create a layer, a 50% gray, using the fill option on the edit menu. So I'll simply go to the new layer. Alright, so I go to edit, fill, all the options here. I'll pick 50% gray, change the blending mode to soft light, opacity 100. Do not click on preserve transparency, you just click this and boom. Then change the blending mode here to soft light. Alright, we're going to be using this to create our dodge and burn. So I'll simply go to the dodge and burn option and going in for burn. So here what we'll be doing here is we'll be painting around the edges of our spider. We're trying to create an illusion here that there is a spider beneath her skin. Do so, we'll paint along the edges. Alright, so exposure 30%. So let's start with paint gently. Now when we paint, always take back, see what you've done, like this, and simply you've seen there's no effect there, so we have to actually add more effort there. So paint gently around the edges of the spider's legs or hands, whatever. Okay, paint gently. So let me just show you before I fast forward. Alright, this is the first line, and I think that line should, so just paint gently. Okay, so I'm painting around the edges, the spider's leg, and what we have. Let's see what we've done so far. So this is how we're going to paint each leg. It's as if we're drawing a line, but a fainty line, such that it actually acts like a shadow. Alright, so I'm going to just fast forward this. Let's see where we are. Let's go to the mid stage and final stage of this shadowing process. Alright. This is our mid stage. So let's see what we've done so far. So let's just complete it. So I'll just fast forward. Let's before and after. Looking left, so just go arrange some parts missing there. So we've succeeded in creating our shadows for the spider. So create layer mask with that, with the spider itself, and get some parts, get rid of some parts like this part. Make sure that I get rid of it. Right. Okay. So that's in our what do you call it? Shadows using the bond tool. So we'll simply do the same thing for the highlight. I don't want to use the same 50% gray layer in case I want to adjust them individually. So I'll simply go to the edit field, 50% gray soft light, 100%. So I'll just simply do the same. I'll do the same thing I did for the shadows because I want to create the highlights now. So I'll simply go to create a new layer. Go to edit, fill, 50% gray soft light, 100% opacity, and boom. Change the blending mode to soft light. Alright, that's pretty cool. So let's start putting in our what do you call it? Our highlight. So we'll go to the dodge and burn option here. Right click and bring the dodge tool. So simply we're just gonna minus this. Okay, just hide it. Toggle the visibility here. So highlight. Let's put the exposure like 80. Reduce it tiny. Alright, so I'm gonna click at the center of this. Alright. Okay, let me show what I'm doing. So I'm just clicking at the center of this. Alright. You can actually own the spider layer, so it actually serves as a guide for you. Sorry, that was a mistake. So I'm going back to the highlight. So let me just quickly name the layers, the highlight and the shadows. So this is the highlight. Okay, highlight, then the shadows. Okay, that's pretty nice. Let's hide this. Okay, I'll roll some less compacted now. Alright, so the highlights, like I said, I'm drawing at the center of my shadows, so in between it, that's what I'm drawing. Alright, so I'm painting gently. You can reduce the opacity if it's too much, obviously it's too much. I'm painting link by link. This might just fast forward this, but I just want you to see where I'm painting at the center line in between the shadows. Alright, the two shadows are painted. Alright, so let me just fast forward this. Let's see our before and after. Before. Okay, the shadows are popping out. The highlights are popping out, sorry. After open that, continue. Painting. Alright, so let's say our before and after. This is what we did so far. So I just want to create a highlight. Now I'm creating highlight along the highlight of the spider. You can see the shells here. Yeah, along that area. Put some highlights there using the dodge tool. So also at the center of the spider, I'm gonna just darken it a little bit. Okay. So let's take up the spider. So this is what we have. Alright. So I might just reduce that on and off, but let's just do some certain things here. The first thing I want to do with this spider layer is go to FX and I go to bevel and emboss. Alright, so the depth, I'm going to go for the depth. I'm going to go for 2.9, I'll call it 292. The size, I'll go for 16. Soften, I'll go for 16. The angle, 90-30 is good for me. Same gloss. And the screen, I think I'll go for the screen like 57. Alright, so I want to change the color of the multiply for the shadow mode because I want it to look real. So I'll pick a shadow from the skin itself. Alright, so just pick a shadow, just make it dark a little bit. Alright, for the shadow, make it 46. Alright, that's pretty good for me. Alright, so I think that is that. Okay, so it's looking harsh though. So I'll just reduce the opacity. Reduce the opacity, start dragging it in. Alright, so we have a whole lot of shadows here too. So minus the shadows, reduce it. Okay, so it's beginning to pop in bit by bit. So just play around to get you perfect spider. Now one thing beautiful about this, you can actually adjust it. Alright, so it's looking to what we call it hash. You can actually go to the layer mask for each of the layer. Go to the eraser. Like I think there's too much shadows here. Repeat here. This one down a little bit too much. So I'll just go reduce the opacity of the eraser. Gently and around. Okay. So anything here, too much here, too much here. Too much here. Alright. So bringing this up. Right, so I think it's not actually defined here. Alright, so I'll simply go back to the shadows, go to the burn tool, and let me just put in some shadows here, and then I'm not here, bring in some shadows. I'm trying to paint the head of the spider. Notice in the place it isn't defined. Okay, let's take this out. Let's see. Okay, so I think we have a problem. We've actually erased that part. So let's simply go to the layer mask and go to the eraser. I flip my foreground color by using X. Flip my foreground color and background color. So let's check it out. But no, we haven't. So we'll still go back to the shadows and make sure that thing is visible, like really visible. Alright, so shadows. Painting along for the shadows. Okay, try to make it visible as possible. Okay, and I think this is good enough. Okay, so let's get our spider ready. Let's bring in the emboss again. Just play with this a little bit. Alright, till I get what I want. Okay, so play with the colors so you can actually give you a perfect shape. You see how it goes. Alright, so till you get your perfect angle. Alright, okay, I think that is that. This is good. This is good for me. Okay, so I just want to reduce the opacity, starting from 0. So this is how it might look. Reduce the highlight too. Reduce the highlight. Let's say this highlight. So just reduce it, make it like 55. Then we start increasing the layer of the spider, the bubble, just gently. Okay, and that is it. I'm going to reduce this too much. Okay, so here. Alright, so I'm going to paint the highlight again. I want to make the depth, so I'm painting around this edge, around this. Okay, then I'm going to create a layer mask again. Then in between, on the center here where I actually painted, I'm going to get that off. Alright, I'm going to create a depth. Okay, alright, I think it's better. Increase your opacity a little bit. Okay, same for the head too, the head of the spider, and I think it's good. Before, might have to increase that a little bit. Okay, way better, way better. So I'm just going to do the same thing with spider. Okay, alright. Now, here's the thing. We have some sharp edges here. It's not looking nice. I would have to use the eraser, but I think you can actually do better. So I'm going to rasterize this. Okay. Duplicate it by dragging down to the new layer icon. Hide that. And right click. Apply layer mask. Now what I want to do, I want to make the edges a little bit. I want to add some feathers to the edges. So I'll just go select. I'll simply hold down Control, click on the layer thumbnail. Okay, I'll go to select a mask. Select a mask. So I'll just put in the feathers. Like really good. Yeah, I think it's pretty good for me. And I click new layer selection, new layer mask. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's way better. So I'm just gonna let me delete this. I'm just gonna erase some parts, like this part. Not doing well. So those edges, yeah, I want to see those edges there. Yeah. Now spider is actually looking in the skin. All right. So let's see the shadows. I think the work is good. Yeah, our work is good. Just play along with this. Any which way, but me, I prefer like 63 or 59. Let's see. Okay, 79 is good for me, right? Pretty good. And the highlight, final. So I'm not actually getting the highlight I want there. I'll simply go back. I paint. I just should increase this. Paint somewhere here around. Alright, so I'm going to increase this too. And I go back to the shadows, flip the X, make it a white, and make sure nothing is blocking it from here because I'm not seeing it. Alright, so I think we've done that. Highlight to make it okay, 74, it's not bad. Alright, so I just want to dress this a little bit. Just a little, so just okay. That's pretty clean. Go to the bring and burn center a little bit. Okay. Way better. Way better. This too. I'm gonna burn in the center there. Okay. So this mouth is to like 59. And boom. I love this one. So now let's just have what do you call it? A red bloody eye already. I've been waiting to do that all day. So let's just quickly group what we've done so far. Shadows and highlights in one folder. The spider and its backup in a folder. Alright, our work is less complicated. So let's bring in our bloody eye. Oh no, let's bring in our claws. Spider, I don't know what to call it. Is it claws? I don't know. It's time to be corrected though. So I want to pick those sharp like fangs to put in our work. Alright, so I'm going to use the lasso tool, L. Use the lasso tool by this use L shortcut. And cut this. Right click, layer copy, then delete the original layer itself. Alright, so I'm bringing this down, not it with the leg here. Okay, reduce the size. Okay, so in somewhere here, I think this is good. And zoom in so you can actually see nice, so it looks it's actually coming out. So give it a layer mask. Okay, double click, duplicate, Ctrl J, and you press Ctrl T to transform, or you simply go to edit and transform, free transform, then right click flip horizontal. Okay, so we have two fans or whatever it's called. Alright, so now let's just get rid of this part, down part. So we use the eraser tool, gently. Same with this, eraser tool, gently. Alright, so zoom in, make sure your work is clean. Clean it off, delete. Same with this. Alright, our work is coming up. It's coming up. So I'll just go for the bloody eye. So before I do that, I group these two fangs to a group. Alright, let me just put that fangs. Okay, and this was what was this? Okay, this is our flower. Put that flower. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is group the spider. I think there's the lights and shadows. Lights and shadows. Lights and shadows. And the last one, I think that should be the spider itself. Let's put in the spider. Okay, that is that. So for the fangs, I want to make it's looking brownish, so nice. Something that actually pierces the skin is supposed to look red. Alright, it's like nail that actually pierces your skin. I'm going to create a layer mask to clean it better. Just like a nail that actually pierces your skin, it's supposed to look like reddish. Alright, so I'm going to create a solid adjustment color, and it's going to be really red. Alright, you can pick any color you want that looks like your blood. I'm picking a color that looks like my blood, or whatever. Sounds awkward though. So I click OK, and I click mask that to that folder, the fan folder. Alright, so it's looking everywhere. I'm going to adjust that. So I'll just go to that. I invite pick. Let me see. Soft light. I'll go with overlay. Now what I'm using overlay is too reddish, so I'll change the color, make it a little bit dark. Okay, now we're talking. Beautiful. Alright, so I might just take it off, reduce opacity. Yeah, way better. Then go to the layer mask for the fangs and get rid of some stuff there. Just dress it. Dress it. So let's say dress. Everything is nice now. So before we put the shadows of the fangs, let's make the bloody eye. So okay, this is the pupil. So here we go to the resource here, and we bring our first bloody eye here. Okay. Now what we're taking for this eye is holding these veins. I need those veins. Alright, so lasso tool, feather tool, just drag and crop out those veins. Please avoid the white skin. We're dealing with the black skin here, alright? So if you use the white skin, it might be complications in you trying to address it while doing it. Alright, so I click and pick out layer copy, then I delete the body itself. Alright, so I go here. Zoom it out, reduce the size. Okay, now I reduce the opacity so I can actually see what I'm doing. Reduce the opacity. Alright, so we assume it's somewhere here. Alright, so but we have some spaces down here. What do? We go to edit, puppet work. Now it's more like an adjustment tool, such that it allows you to arrange your image, PNG or visual element in a way that you spread it using pins. Alright, let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'll actually pin it at the center here because I don't want it to move, and pin it at this edge too because I don't want that edge to move. Then this other part, I adjust. Alright, so you see how it works. Alright, it's like you know these tailors when you're trying to adjust your clothes. That's how it works. Alright, so that's nice, but use your opacity, it gets in everywhere. Use the layer mask to dress it. I'm taking off the part, some parts. That's good. And the edges needs to be soft. Feather the edges, right? Okay. Alright, so that's pretty good. Let's reduce the that is 60. 71 is okay for me. Just need to dress it up a little bit. Okay. So that is beautiful, alright? So why don't we just duplicate it and place it on the other side? Ctrl J, Ctrl T, right click on that and flip horizontally. Just bringing it here gently. Now problem is that it doesn't fit. Alright, so what do? Puppet wow. Same thing. I pin the center here. I drag this side, okay, and I drag this side, okay. No, I drag it. You must follow me. You follow me. I drag this to that side, okay. Now I have to still dress this, so I go to the layer mask. This eraser, dress. I dress it gently. Okay, and what do we have here? We have a bloody eye. Alright, so just make this. Okay, gently. No, too much. Just avoid the fangs. Obviously, fangs are actually above that. So we've created one part of our bloody eye, right? Let's create the second part. So I'll just group this two eyes. Call it bloody eye 1. Bloody eye 1. Alright. Second thing we're going to do, we're going to create the second bloody eye. Now this one is going to be above every other layer we have, because when your eye is actually bloody, it actually affects your pupil and every other thing in the eye. So we're just going to bring in the second bloody eye, drag it up. Okay, so push this down, rotate, and bring it this way here. So now what we're going to do, we're going to reduce the opacity so we actually get in the right position of the eye. Okay, so we zoom somewhere here. Let's see. Okay. So somewhere here. Okay, so bring it up. Okay. We're trying to fit the eye. Okay, so bring it up somewhere here. So I think that is the position of the eye. Alright. If she were to have the eye itself. So just bring the layer mask. Bring the layer mask in and try to dress it up. Just going to paint, take off the white skin gently first. Use your opacity for your brush so you don't have to actually affect the main thing itself. Okay, you can actually increase your opacity at some point so you get the heck of what you're doing. Alright, so gently around. Okay, alright, so our bloody eye is actually coming out. So now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to paint the pupil out. Gently. I don't want to paint almost everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the opacity of the brush because I kind of like the pupil though. So I'm going to reduce the opacity of the brush and paint on the eye. I still need some like what do you call it? Red stuff in the pupil though. So just paint it. Okay. On this edge you paint it up. Okay. this. Paint it up. Paint the form of pupil. Of actually on the bloody eye. So this is nice. Pretty nice. Just reduce the opacity. Yeah, here. So this is good. Pretty good for me. Alright, so this is our work is coming out. It's coming out pretty well. Alright. So before just paint just along the edges, make sure nothing like pops out of the eye. So when the eye is actually red, make sure that is actually possible. Okay, now we have the what do you call it? The fans are too reddish and everything, so get some part out. Alright, so just use the brush. Not too reddish though, so use the brush gently. Some parts painted gently out. Okay, now it's pretty nice. Alright, the next thing I want to do is let me just see if we can actually improve this. Make it a little dark. That is for the fans. I'm just trying to make it dark per se. Okay, I think this is nice. So the color code for this is 290301. Alright, so that is that. Let's just do some final fine tuning to our work. Alright, now this flower and this leaf is actually fighting for attention. So why don't we blow them out? So just bring everything to a top layer by pressing Control Shift Alternate E at the top. Now it brings everything to the top. So from there we'll go to filter, blur, and blur gallery to be precise. Fill blur. Right now it actually pinpoints the parts you want to blur out. Alright, so these points are like pins. Now these pins have radius of how blurry you want and how far you want the blur to actually cover, the field of blur like they call it. Alright, so these are like pins that you use to actually blur stuff. So when I'm using them, you see what I mean. So the first pin, I drag it towards the side because I want to blur around this side, and I reduce the blur effect to like 12. Then bring another pin to the point where I don't want the blur effect to actually affect that part. Alright, so I click here, then I reduce it to 0. So you see the effect? Here it's unblurred and here it's blurred. So I'm just going to do the same thing here. Bring in a pin, yeah, blur here, and that pin here. Do the same thing. Okay, so here too, reduce the opacity at some point, yeah. Here to drag this and paint and bring the paint around such that it creates a focus point so you can actually see the effect, because I'm trying to blur out this other thing so it doesn't fight for attention when you're actually trying to do the effect. So I think this is good, and I click OK. Okay, so that is that. If you want to implement any different effects, so that is that. So if you want to put like what do you call it, cobwebs, I'm going to put in the cobwebs now. What is the final thing? Drag in the cobwebs. Drop. Okay. Drag. Click OK here. Go here and I go to screen. Now it's looking a little bit whitish and everything. So what do? I go to adjustment layer. I go to levels. And I click max it. Alright, so I drag gently. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So there you are. You have your effects. So I just want to go into filter, camera roll. I'll try to enhance my image to pop, make it shiny. So what do I do here? I go to texture, pop in texture. Alright, pop in texture. Okay, and what else? Then go to browse profile. There's 4 boxes here, and just apply anything that seems really nice. It's actually optional though, so if you don't want to apply, it's cool. All these things kind of looking weird to me though. So I think this is nice, but let's see before, after. So I like this. Just put in a little much. And okay. Okay. So that is that for today, guys. So let me know what you feel about this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button to notify you whenever I drop a video. So I'll see you later. Thank you.